Hello and welcome everybody. I hope you have a great evening. Hello. We will start in just a few seconds. Let's wait a little bit. Once we wait for everybody to join in, and I will start sharing my screen now. Then. Okay, here we go. Hello and welcome to our webinar. Welcome to Coding Invaders YouTube channel. This webinar is called Become a Data Analyst for 2 hours. We have a lot of exciting stuff that's going on today. We're going to talk about career and data analytics. We're going to discuss real hiring managers from great companies to share their experience with you and to answer all your questions. And what is most interestingly, that we will try to be a data analyst for 1 hour and try to solve a real world problem using data analytics. We will find out, will a company survive 2020 pandemic? First of all, after welcoming you, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Alex. I'm a co-founder of Coding Invaders. I am doing EdTech and IT education for quite a while now. And in my companies, we taught more than 20,000 students across the world. And we specialize in teaching IT, data science, and data analytics. So basically, my another company, Skill Factory, is one of the top 3 professional online education companies in Europe, and we have done a lot of work educating people from Europe, from Asia, from US. So that's a little bit who we are. Also, I would like to introduce our guest speakers. We would have a fireside chat with them in some time. It is Pratik Anjay. He's a data scientist at Global Logic. He used to work at Walmart and Ernst & Young, one of the top consulting companies. And another, our guest is Arpit Sisodia. He's a data scientist at Ericsson. So now it's time for you guys to introduce yourself. Please write in the chat, what is your name, what you do, and where are you from? It's super exciting to get to know you better and for everybody to know who we are with today. So please write into the chat, who are you, what's your name, and where are you from? I will also look at my screen and see your answers. Okay, we seem to have quite some answers. Welcome everybody. It's an honor to host you on this webinar today. So let's just jump right in and talk a little bit what's going to happen today. So this webinar is gonna last 120 minutes for approximately 2 hours. So right now you are starting to tell a little bit about yourself. We would have a live Q&A session with the hiring managers, so you can ask all the questions that you have. It would be great to know what are you interested in and to answer as much questions as we can during this time. Please feel free to share your opinion in the chat. It's very important to us. And together, we will also practice with other participants, and we would be honored if you decide to come and study at Coding Invaders at some time in your career. So first, I would like to ask you, what's your goal for today's webinar? Please write into the chat one number. 1, if you came just to listen to the webinar and you don't have just any particular goal. 2, if you want to study and you're looking for courses right now. And 3, if you're already studying and you want to just explore and expand horizons. It will be great to know a little bit more about you and your goals. So wait for a couple of seconds for you guys to actually start answering the questions. Okay, I'm seeing answers now. I see 2s and 3s. It's great. It's great. And I'm really happy because we have a very motivated and committed audience here. So we're going to do a great job. Thank you, guys. Thanks. So what we will discuss today, specifically, we discuss how to start a career in data analytics. What are the skills and requirements out there for the entry-level positions? So we will talk to the hiring manager from Global Logic and Ericsson, who will give you advice and answer your question about career in the sphere of data. And we'll try out to be a data analyst in an interactive practice session. So let's jump right in. Let's first talk about what is data analytics. First, why it is so popular. The question is pretty logical, and the answer is also very logical because you can see that right now we have a lot of data. We have like an explosion of data, and we have like a lot of zettabytes of data that is growing exponentially from year to year. And just for your information, a zettabyte is 1 trillion of gigabytes, basically. So it's a lot of data, and the amount of data is growing really rapidly from year to year. And why is this important? And what it has to do with the data analytics. So how data analytics actually help with this data. I can answer with a with a metaphor, with a like example, fictional example from a movie. Do you remember this guy? This is Q. Q is a guy from a James Bond movie, and Q is a guy who is always with James Bond in his ear and helps him navigate a very difficult environment that he is in. So we can say that James Bond is as fierce as his competitors, as the evil guys, but also he has advantage of having Q. So Q helps him with the right insights and the right data when it's needed the most. So that's probably one of the reasons why James Bond is so successful, because he has this little guy Q who is in his ear and who helps him find the right way and have the data and some facts that he needs exactly when he needs them. So basically, data analyst is this Q, and he helps real businesses with the insights, to make the decisions, data-driven decisions based on facts, not on some intuition and not on just some hunch. And that's why more and more businesses actually need this kind of Q, because right now the competition is really tough. And since we have a lot of data out there, many companies actually use this data to become more competitive, to make better decisions, to have better pricing, to have better understanding of their own business. And that's why the need for data analysts is actually exploding too. So which companies are actually using data analysts, where they need? Well, actually, it's difficult to say an industry that do not need data analysts. I actually cannot name one, but what industries are really kind of have a lot of data analysts is finance, sales, business consulting. Actually, India is a great place for this because a lot of international companies, US companies, actually outsource data analytics to India, and there is a lot of consulting companies and agencies who actually help out other companies to do data analytics for them, and they hire a lot of data analysts. Of course, tech companies, analytics is a backbone of every tech company. So all the great tech companies like, I don't know, Facebook, Amazon, and other companies like this, they have like hundreds, maybe thousands of data analysts, data scientists, and other data professionals. So it's a great employer for data analytics. Of course, marketing and communications. Right now, it's really, really hard to be in marketing without relying on huge amounts of data and making use of what advertising is working, what advertising is not working. It is really, really widespread. So there is a lot of data analytics need in these companies. Of course, insurance business is transforming right now, and a lot of decisions are based on IT, the technologies right now, and a lot of stuff is really going in data analytics out there. And of course, startups. Startups are in a difficult situation because they need to compete with big companies and they have to make really smart decisions. That's why they need data analytics like from the very first day, and they hire a lot of entry-level data analysts. Actually, it's a great employer. So in terms of a career, so what profession does this field of data analytics create? So we can divide them into three groups. First is data analytics per se. So basically the data analytic in just a data analytic. So basically here it's pretty simple. You have entry-level data analyst or junior data analyst. This is what you can become once you get that skills. You can become a junior data analyst. Then you develop your skills, you develop experience, and you move to middle level data analyst, and you can actually go further and become a senior data analyst or data analytics manager and develop in this vertical. But actually there is a lot of professions around data analytics who are really close to data analytics but have some other component in them, like business analyst, like financial analyst, operations analyst. So this kind of analysts, they also have a strong domain knowledge, expertise in their domain, in finance, in business processes. There is a risk analyst, research analyst, data journalist, business intelligence analyst, marketing analysts, and there are other type of analysts out there, which is basically more or less the same as a data analyst, but it has some external component of domain expertise. And actually, if you do have a domain expertise, because I know that many of you already have some solid work experience, this can be one of the options for you. When you already know some industry, you can add data analytics skills on top of that, and you will be very, very competitive in this field. It is going to be also an entry point for you in the data sphere. And also you can move beyond data analysts in the sphere of data science. So for many people, data analyst is just the first step on the journey to data science. And we know that data science is a great career. Everybody's talking about data science now, about artificial intelligence, machine learning, and a lot of exciting things going on there, like self-driving cars, like speech analytics, computer vision, and other great great implementation of data science. So you can first become a data analyst. If you don't have any experience, you don't have coding experience. So first you become a data analyst, you become better at this, and then you'll make a next career move and you switch to the data science. And this is actually a very, very common career journey for many people. And there is a lot of professions out there: data scientist, data engineer, machine learning engineer, artificial intelligence developer, big data engineer, and others. So there is a lot of jobs out there, but who are basically have the same starting point. You have to become a data analyst first. You have to get the basic skills first, and then you can develop in this profession. How much data analysts make? So actually, this varies a lot. So if you take like average, and it's all across India, it's not only in tier 1 cities, but everywhere. The average is 427,000 per year. But if we take tier 1 cities, it's actually much more than that. it's actually much more than that. We're speaking about Mumbai, about Bangalore, if you're speaking about New Delhi. In these places, the salary is actually higher. But if you take like in general, all across India, it's around 427,000. And if you're speaking about a data scientist per position, if you like the next step, it can go up to 2 million rupees per year. So now we can talk a little bit about the skills. So basically, what it takes to work as a data analyst, what you actually need. There is a lot of things that are included. Basic is analytical thinking. So you have to love solving problems, thinking about some solutions, getting deep into the details. It's a basic trait. So if you like to organize things, if you like to kind of do the problem solving, basically you are in the right place. It means that basically you're a good fit to become a data analyst. And then you also have to kind of develop certain skills, of course. It's basic knowledge of statistics, knowledge of programming languages like SQL and Python, knowledge of data visualization tools like Power BI and Tableau, and also knowledge of the business area. Sometimes it's you can either have it or you can get it on the job. But if we talk about like senior level data analysts, they already know some sphere in business, but it's not actually necessary for junior level data analysts. And the last but not least is good presentation skills. So you can communicate effectively with the business managers and other team members. So let's focus a little bit on the technical skills because it is the most, I think, important part. So if you get so there are 4 skills that are most necessary and that you need to acquire in order to get this job. So first, you have to be really good in Excel. It's like the basic, not only kind of multiply to cells, but do the difficult stuff like a lot of formula, pivot tables, and stuff like this, visualization. You have to know Python. It's more and more important right now, and it's a great advantage. I know some data analysts do not know Python, but more and more companies, they really need Python and some programming language. And if you know it, it's a great advantage. You have to know SQL to be working with databases and some data visualization tool, BI tool, like Tableau or Power BI. So this exactly are the skills that are needed. So if you have this, and you also have some like cases and portfolio with these tools, you would have it will be much easier for you to get a job, and people are exactly looking for employers with these skills, with employees with these skills. So let's look at the example of some data analyst job. I just found it out like a couple of days ago, and you can see here it's exactly the same, like strong SQL and Python knowledge, and analytical skills, communication skills. So this is exactly the skill set that we were talking about. Also, you can see there is a degree in science, engineering, operation, research, math. But actually, to be honest, because we have been talking with a lot of employers while we were creating our course, doing a lot of research in India. And I can tell you that if you have everything else but the degree like in engineering or computer science, the degree is not that important. I would say that other things like not degree is 90%, degree 10%. So it's nice to have, it's great to have, but this is not why people actually employ data analysts. So first of all, you have to get the skills and to show that you can use these tools. So this is really important. Here is another company, Twilio. It's exactly the same, right? So SQL, Excel, Tableau, and working with large data sets, attention to detail, and stuff like this. So also you can see here 2+ years of experience. This is also a concern for people who only want to get into this profession. Oh, I don't have 2+ years of experience, so how can I get to the profession? Also, it is not always necessary, actually. So because people require 2+ year experience because they want you to have some sort of portfolio, to have some sort of real examples where you can apply the tools that you have working knowledge of this. So if you have the same without a working experience, so you can demonstrate some code that you made, some projects that you made, visualizations that you made, it's going to be a great advantage. And sometimes experience is not needed. And right here, we're talking about top companies like Twilio and Amazon. If you go to the companies below level, so the requirements are even less strict. Now, let's get into the day of life in the life of a data analyst. So just a lot of data analysis. So what exactly people do? I think it's really important. So for example, I'm a data analyst, so I arrived at 9 to my office, get my first cup of coffee, and get in the zone. At 9:30, we have a team meeting of our analytics team. We discuss the task for the day and brainstorm some solutions. Then I start to gather some data from the database. So this is the first part of my work. It takes me about an hour. Then I start cleaning the data. Cleaning the data is actually task that takes most of the time for the data analyst, because sometimes data is not the great format. Some data is missing. You have to unite data from different sources so you can use it. And cleaning the data is actually a task that takes a lot of time. I have a lunch break, I go back and I continue with this cleaning data. Then once the data is cleaned and ready to analyze, I process the data, I analyze the data. And actually it takes actually less time than to clean the data. Then I prepare some visualization and dashboards for the client, and afterward have a meeting with the client and go through these reports and visualization and explain how to use them. Then I run some scripts to prepare data for tomorrow, and then I head home. So more or less, what the day looks like for the data analyst. So let's move forward. Somebody saying that screen is not clear. Can you please say that if it's if that's the case? Okay, yeah. So let's talk about how can you start career in data analytics with no experience. So it is like the most common question that we have, and now we're going to cover that. So the best way is to tell your story. It's a story of real people who actually made this transition, and you can see how actually it happens. So let me introduce you Pooja. Pooja worked as a sales manager in telecom, and while she was working, she invested into education online. So she took some courses, and then after she got the skills that she needed, she actually was promoted in the same company to a junior data analyst position. This is very typical scenario for many people. Now let's see another story. It's a Deepak. So Deepak and he is a BCom graduate, and he learned some of the skills like SQL and Excel while he was studying. And later, as a fresher, he joined Barclays Bank as operations analyst. So you can see this is one of the professions we talk about around data analytics. So later, he picked up Python and Power BI and some more advanced tools, and he switched to data analytics also within the same company, and he has been working for 6+ years in this. So it's another story, and you can see that there was one of the question about the person who is a BCom graduate, so it is possible. So we see a real life example of that. Also, I would like to introduce you Jyoti. She used to work as an accountant, as a chartered accountant. After she had a break in her career for 4 years, and while being unemployed, she learned some new skills. And afterwards, she found a job as a data analyst in Healthcare. It is a fitness company, and this is also a success story that can be an example of people switching careers. So this is how it works, more or less. And now let's speak a little bit about the requirements. So what are the requirements to start studying data analytics? First, what is not required? Not required. Degree in math, not really required. Degree in computer science, not required. You can see from the stories that we shared that people did well without it. Actually, to start studying, you don't need to have coding experience. So coding is one of the skills that you can start and get from scratch. You don't have to be a technical genius. Right now, the analytics tools are not so hard. It's not like software developing or something. And then you don't have to be a math genius to do it. What is required though? First, you have to be enjoying this activity. So for example, you have to love to organize things. You have to be really attentive to the detail. So if this is something that describes you, so you have a good basic kind of requirement to start studying this. So also you have to have already some sort of problem solving skills and communication skills, because data analyst is a guy or a girl who not only work with data, he works with people. So communication skills is really essential. So if you feel good about communicating with other people, so it's also a good starting point for you. And what is like most important, I would say that is 80% of the success is determination to change your life and get a great profitable profession. So motivation really kind of changes everything. So if you have a determination to do it, if you have a motivation to study, it's gonna be really smooth journey for you, because you would have this discipline and motivation to really go out there and change and get the skills. So this is very important. If you don't have this motivation, for example, you just want to just I don't know, get acquainted to know what is data analytics, and you so it's going to be hard. But if you have the motivation, it's going to be easy. So this is that simple. So if you how much time typically for a beginner it takes to master the skill? So many people study on their own, and they go through these stages. So it can be in different you can start from more or less anywhere, but it takes you 3 months to study the necessary math and statistics, 3 months to study Python, a couple of months to get SQL skills, a couple of months to get to know BI tools, 1 month to get deep understanding of Excel, and 5 months to get the cases and study data analysis framework to understand how to solve real world problems. So if you do it like not in a smart way, but you can just go one by one. You first take math, then you take Python, then you take SQL. It can take around 1.5 years to complete all the necessary skills. But the good news is that you can actually study many things in parallel and study them on real work issues. Right now, I think it's time for us to introduce our hiring managers. So you can also ask questions to them. I will stop my screen sharing and see if we got. So right now, I think we need to wait a couple of minutes for them to join the webinar. Actually, if you have some questions to the hiring managers, to the so then we can once again. So please write your question. So now we have a Pratik, hi.
Hey, hi.
Hi. And now we also have Arpit.
Hey, hi, Arpit.
So
Hi, Pratik. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our fireside chat. So let me once again introduce our honored speakers here. So first of all, I'd like to introduce Pratik Anjay. He is a data scientist at the Global Logic. He used to work at Walmart and Ernst & Young. Pratik, welcome to our fireside chat.
Thank you. Thanks.
And I also would like to introduce Arpit. He's a data scientist, Arpit Sisodia. He's a data scientist at Ericsson. Arpit, also welcome, and it's honor and a pleasure to have you both guys.
Thank you.
Webinar. We have a lot of around 200 people who are live, so they're looking at us. Okay, so first, our main goal is to like get your experience and share this experience with a lot of people who are aspiring data analysts and who right now starting their journey into this sphere. So first, I would like to ask you both about your journey, how you got to the data analytics and data science sphere.
Yeah, Pratik, you want to go first?
Yeah, surely I can go with. Okay, so I did my engineering. I did my engineering with electronics and communication background, and I joined a bank after that. So there I was part of a team who and all are working with some of the reporting stuff, where we used to take some data which are from the customers, and we build some reports and share with the team, and that team actually work on the real data science or data analytics projects. So at that point of time, I got a flavor of, okay, what is data science, what is data analytics, because on a daily basis or on a weekly we used to interact, and I used to go to them to check what exactly they are doing, or what are their need. So like that I understood, okay, this is something interesting, this is something nice, or what sort of insight or information they are extracting from the available data set. So gradually, I try to move into that team firstly in my own company. So I got that opportunity, and I part of that team, and then I started working as a business intelligent, or if I say data analyst over there. And then further, as I progress in that field, I understood, okay, there is something called machine learning, and that is very good. That is coming into the market, and many companies are using that sort of algorithms also. So I started learning that, and first of all, I did some POC over there in my team, where I focused, okay, we can try this sort of things also, where we can get some good results. So likely, I first read the stuff my own, because at that point of time the resources are very limited, because there were no that much boom, and the things which are available on internet or anywhere was very less. So from the very less information, we tried something over there. I learned the thing, and then I moved to another company, and then I got some good opportunity to work upon. So gradually, I started working on this data science and machine learning field. Then I thought, okay, let's do some course over there, so that I just understand the whole scenario of everything. So then I did my postgraduate diploma in business analytics and business intelligence from Great Lake Institute of Management, and there I understood many of the things, because when we are working for the machine learning and other things in many of the companies, we we put, but eventually we don't put much focus on some of the statistics thing. But eventually the statistics is very important. That is the core of the part. So gradually I learned that. I moved to another field. Then I got some good projects to work upon, where I learned to work on NLP, text analytics, or maybe some speech recognition and all. So yeah, that was a very good journey, if I say, because I learned a lot of
Yeah.
things. I work for some of the companies. I work on on-site locations also for some clients. I work for a Standard Bank in Johannesburg, South Africa. I worked there for 1.5 years. So the whole journey, the learning is very good. And if I say, this field is like a uh, continuous improvement field, because every day something is coming in and we have to learn, we have to adapt, and we have to evolve ourselves, because some new technologies, some new things are coming into the market, and companies are very eager to use them for their own purpose. So yeah, the journey was really good.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you so much, Pratik. I would like to comment a little bit that it's great to hear your story, because sometimes people have this feeling that people who work like in data science and machine learning, they were born like geniuses, like from 1 year old, they already kind of know everything, and they like, like have the superpowers. And it took you quite a while, actually, right, to get the different steps, starting from simple things,
Yeah,
but then learning new things and improving until you do like really complicated stuff like
because even if I say,
natural language processing.
because even I say, there are many new things that even I won't be aware of, where people are
Yeah.
doing many things in this field.
Yeah.
So this is kind of
Yeah.
a everyday evolving field where the learning opportunity is huge.
Hmm. Great. Great. Thank you so much. And now, Arpit, can you share your story, how you got to be a
sure.
data scientist?
So it was 2010, almost 10 years before, when I graduated in computer science. Then I was working with Accenture for 2.5 years, and that time I was a .NET developer, right? Core coding was my profile. But somehow it was not, I would say, it was not matching with my personality. I was more into mathematics and all. And then in 2013, I did my 1 year MBA from Great Lakes. And my major was business analytics and IT operation. And from there, as like Pratik, I got to learn a lot of tools related to data science, and how data science itself is going to impact all the domains, all the fields. Then in 2014, I started working with Cognizant as their analytical product specialist. So that was more into the consulting profile, where I interact with different clients and suggest them how different analytical products related to fraud or maybe business rule management system, how they can help. Again, it was more into consulting, and not core into hands-on. I'm nowhere near data analyst or data science profile in 2014-15. And then I moved to Times Internet, which is India's biggest media house, and there I started working as a data analyst, right? So even in my interview, they had given me the business case where I need to come up with insights, how revenue can be optimized, right? So in newspaper, what is the best position to show the ad, right? And the revenue is coming through click. So what are the positions we can target? So it was more into, the interview itself was more into how much insight I can give, and how business people can take decision, take action on those insights. So that's where I initially moved into data analyst part, and there I used to prepare different dashboards related to different campaigns that run on e-commerce, or different publishers. And also I used to create different sales reports how different regions are performing. That at that time I was working primarily on Excel and Tableau desktop and server for publishing the reports. So that's where my transition happened into data analyst field. After almost 1.5 year, it was, if I talk about core data analyst profile, it was more into presentation. How can I build different dashboards? How can I communicate the insights to different sales team and the stakeholders and people at CXO level? And this happened for 1.5 year, and then I moved to the core data science team, which is AdTech platform for Times Internet. So how can we increase the revenue through optimizing the ad and click prediction is still Facebook, Google, everybody's working on click prediction. How can they increase the revenue by getting more click, not just impression, right? So again, I worked with Times Internet for 1 year, and best thing is to get such opportunity inside your organization. I mean, it would be the easiest way for anyone. I would suggest, if you have such opportunity inside your organization, this would be the easiest way to move into core data science or data analyst profile. So there I worked for 2 years, and in 2017 I moved to Video Technologies. That's one of the service-based organization and primarily into business analytics. I work with different clients, automobiles, pharma, and retails, and given different recommendation and time series based algorithm, different solution I had given, and that's how my journey into data science started. After that, I also did my post graduation in applied statistics, because whether it's statistics, your communication skill, your domain knowledge, and the coding skill, all are integral part of your data science skill set. So that's how it started. And after that, I work with ABB also. They are into industrial equipments. I had given different patents to them also. Three patent I had given to ABB, and my work was primarily into anomaly detection. And the impact of that work is directly into the bottom line of the organization. When we are working on different problem, it's not just research work. It directly impacts the bottom line or the ROI of the organization. That's the beauty of the work. And since last year, I've been working with Ericsson in different verticals of Ericsson, and how can we improve the traffic, right? How can we optimize the traffic itself, and many more problems. So it's very challenging environment. We need to read different research paper. We need to identify what best different organizations are doing. Maybe the similar problem is there, and then deploy the solution and present the finding to different stakeholders. So that has been my journey, and still, as Prateek said, a lot more to learn. Every day new things are coming up, and yeah, it's dynamic field. Most important thing is, if your interest is there, you will definitely shine. And that's what I like about this field.
It's really important idea, and I also like to kind of draw some lines between two of your stories, because I think it's really important to see some patterns there, and to see some lessons, right, from your story. So first, I think what was really interesting to me, that you also started with a data analysis, and then you move to data science, but it took you quite a while to actually get there. Then I also think it's very important that that education actually right played some role in your transition. So you actually went back to spend some time to get your skills and to kind of change mindset and stuff like this. It's really important. And for me, it was like really interesting that you actually get to sophisticated math not from the beginning, but you actually kind of first realize the need for it and how you can use this math. And I think it's a very common fear that many people have, and they kind of break down on here, because they first study some really hardcore statistics, for example, and they're not prepared. They don't understand why they need it, and they say, "Oh, it's too hard for me." And I think your way just shows that you have to kind of be persistent, go step by step, and you actually get there if you have the motivation.
Definitely.
Exactly. There are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. No free lunches.
You have to learn. You have to learn. You have to understand, because the thing is, like, when you are working for a project, maybe you have some limited scope. where you are working. But once you do some course, you do some degree, there you got lot of things to learn, because you got everything as a course, as a material, as a study stuff. So there you learn many things that increases your knowledge. Then you are aware of in which situation what best tool to use, which algorithms to use, which approach I have to take. So you have now good amount of knowledge. Now you have to use this in a defined or channelized way. So like that, learning always helps.
Okay, so now we have 15 minutes left. So I would cast a couple of questions or ask you to kind of to give like very concise answer, because we have a lot of questions also from the chat. It's like exploding right now. So first, can you tell in a few words what are the requirements for the entry-level data analyst position? So from your experience, so or from kind of things that it is within your company or companies before. So what is really needed to just start?
If I say, then you have to have some knowledge about how to understand the business problems. You have to have a good listening skills to understand the business problem. And if I talk about the skill set, you have to be good knowledge of Excel, SQL, any of the visualization tool like Power BI, Tableau, or any other, and some of the important or some of the basics of the statistics. So if I give you the very precise way, Excel, SQL, and visualization, these three are very, very, very important. Because many of the times you're not going to get data directly. You have to go into the databases, write some queries, and you have to extract the data. So that's the
Okay,
whole scenario.
thanks. And Arvid, probably you have what's from your perspective. Do you have
Sure,
anything
sure.
to
I think
add?
Prateek has nicely summarized the core competencies required to be a data analyst. I won't repeat those things. On top of that, other skill set which are really required, I would say the presentation skill. I mean, the way you communicate your once you have come up with your dashboard, right? You should be able to communicate. You need to have that presentation skill, right?
Yeah.
So that's
If I
that's the one thing.
if
Yeah.
I say you can make it as a storytelling, how you
Exactly.
can tell this story to your stakeholders or the audience to whom you are presenting your dashboard.
Exactly. And now the industry is demand is more, right? It's, I mean, definitely Excel is the core tool for data analysts, but these days R and Python, at least basic knowledge when it comes to data cleaning and how do you pull the data. A little bit of data engineering is also important these days. I would say if you want to excel in this field, and if you're looking for ultimate goal is to become a data scientist, I mean, there's no harm
Yes.
in getting these skill sets.
You have to learn. You have to learn Python or R.
Yeah.
R was previously very much used, but nowadays most of the companies are switching from R to Python, because
Yeah. Yeah.
even
Yeah.
though as a programmer, if you go online, the codes are very much available for the Python rather than the R.
Yeah. So basically, even in dashboards, you cannot do, if you are using Tableau, you cannot write complex data cleaning or dealing
Yeah.
with the JSON format. So there, even in those dashboard, although you are using a direct tool, you need to call these scripts maybe written in R or Python, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah,
that's how it has
yeah,
integrated these days.
great. So now let's speak about some mistakes, because people have this fear that they don't get the job, right? And many people actually do not get the job. So what people do wrong when they apply to this data analyst, data scientist position? So where is things just fall apart?
If I say the main thing is like many of the people or students, they just learn this stuff. They don't have very much of the practical knowledge. Or, for example, if you stuck in a situation, how you will do to resolve that. So once you will start doing online projects, if you're not doing in your company, so you will get to know, okay, what are the challenges will come in your way and how you will mitigate that. And the second thing is like when I interviewed for some of the students or in my company, whenever I do, people know about the algorithms if I talk about in a data science or even in the data analyst, but they don't know the inside of that, how it is working. They just know the name, and they thought, okay, they have taken few of the codes from the online, they applied on the
Yeah.
data set, but they don't understand the mathematics or statistics behind that. So maybe many of the times they are stuck on that during the interviewing process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arpit, what do you think?
Yeah, yeah, I see. I don't think personally. I don't think there is a to move into, especially into data analyst field. People are, they are committing any mistake. I would say maybe they are lacking in
Yeah.
some integral areas where they should focus on. And I would suggest them to keep trying. Maybe even when I take interviews. Or even when I have given interviews for different organization, it's not like in my first interview itself I will be selected, right? Even
Yeah.
many a times interviewer itself tells me that you need to focus on these areas. I mean, you have good knowledge of Python, how to use packages, but you have not made any changes inside the packages. What if you need
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
override some classes inside the packages?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's you need to focus on continuous learning, as we have been discussing, right? So you need to hone up your skills and continuously gain new skills. If you keep
Okay.
trying, definitely you will not fail. You can
Yeah.
mitigate mistakes by focusing more on the concepts, not on the variety, but you need to go into the depth of even as one topic is sufficient. If interview likes that topic, you can crack that, rather than saying that I know about convolution neural network, LS sequence
Yeah.
model also, and NLP also. If you know time series itself, you need to go deeper into that so that you are
Yeah.
cogent enough to explain your point and you yourself understand what you are doing, right? So
Okay.
that's what I'm
Thanks.
saying. That's what I think. Yeah, yeah.
Also the
I
practicing thing, they have to practice a lot, because it's not like directly you go and sit into the interview and start working on the problem
That-
statement. So you have to keep practicing at your home also, even though you are not giving the interviews.
Thank you so much. I skipped last with the advice section because I think we in every question you give some excellent advice to really be persistent, to always study, to uh, and other things like this. And now, because we have a lot of questions, I will switch to the questions from the audience. Let's do it like in a blitz format. So just one sentence answer to the question. So first is there is a lot of questions that are similar, but still let's try to cover them. For example, first one, it's Prem Kumar. How easy is to get a job in data analytics with more than 10 plus years experience in sales?
He has to do some projects online, or he has
Mm-hmm.
to try something in his own company, because when you are having 10 plus years of experience, a company will not consider you as a fresher. So
Mm-hmm.
at that point of time, you have to at least show some amount of projects, like, or educational project, or what I say, academic projects, where you
Mm-hmm.
have done something related to data science or data analyst.
Okay,
yeah.
thanks. Uh, I'm we can you can switch one
Sure.
question
Yeah. Sure.
each. So, then Nilesh is asking, I'm having 2 years experience in Python. With what extra knowledge I need to be a data analyst?
Uh, I mean, it's if you already have 2 years of experience Python, you definitely, some of the organization are looking for Python based data analyst. I think you should just go and start applying for different organization. Few skills, if Python is like core skill in data science, even in data analyst, it has become core skill. So I would suggest him to you just start applying, and it will be pretty easy for you to get into data analyst.
Great, and it's the hardest, right? So
Yeah,
if you already have that,
exactly.
uh, there is Manish. When a fresh is going to be hired as analyst due to pandemic, have lost opportunity, is certification mandatory for getting selected as analyst?
See, if I say about certifications, it will obviously give you an edge when recruiters are going to filter the resume. Because if somebody is of your experience, and if I get a resume who is having some sort of certificate, probably I will consider first to the people who is having some certificate, because I guess, okay, he has studied something somewhere. And about pandemic, yeah, there was some slow movement into the market, but once the situation will be over, I think there will be boom into the market, because there are many positions those are on hold, many projects are on hold. Again, they will start, and the openings will come into the market.
Okay, thank you so much. We would have just a few question. There is a question, I think, to Pratik. Being an associate of Adobe Analytics, will it somehow help in data analytics?
Oh yeah, definitely. Whatever the analytics you are doing, any way you are learning something over there. Just try to learn some more skills. What we have discussed already about, like Python, SQL, or maybe visualization, or maybe some of the machine learning. And probably, yeah, definitely that will definitely help you.
Mm-hmm. Also, there is a question like so, and I think this would be the last one, because we need to let our honored speakers go to do the data science job. So how, there's a good one. How will we get to do online projects? You can both answer your experience or whatever.
So online projects, there is no dearth or scarcity of online project.
Yeah.
You just whatever is there in your mind, just add GitHub with that, and you will get a lot of projects. Even if you whatever online learning you are doing, Coursera, Udemy, or Data Camp, you will get a lot of projects. It's you need to have passion, and there are plenty of projects available. Even right now, you can whatever is coming in your mind, object detection, time series forecasting, just write GitHub and you will get thousands of or maybe lakhs of projects. It's there.
Yeah, or else you can go directly on Kaggle or Analytics with the, there you
Yeah.
will get lots of available projects with the data set, where they will give you the proper problem statement with your data set. So
Yeah.
try start doing on that.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much, guys, for your great insights and your stories and your advice to our participants on the webinar. It's really useful for people to get the knowledge from the first hand, and to hear stories. It's really more motivating. So now you can just go and continue your work. Thank you so much for finding time to join us, and looking forward to working with both of you in the future and seeing you on our events. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks.
Sure.
Thanks a lot
It was
for this
nice
opportunity.
connecting you. Thanks for having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. It was
Thank you.
great talking
Thank
to
you,
you
everyone.
both. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Okay. Okay. Now I will go back to our presentation. So right now we are ready for the next part, where in this part we would see the practice. And there is a question that no one addressed. So sorry, we were not able to answer all the questions that were asked. So if you please write after the webinar once again in the chat, for example in WhatsApp chat, your question. We will sure to answer all the questions that's going to be available there by us, or we'll ask our experts for their insight. So don't worry, we will try to answer all the questions that's out there. Okay, so now it's second part. In this part we will do the practice. So just to wrap up the first part and to get some important stuff for us to remember. So in order to get to the data analytics field, first you have to have a clear measurable goals in front of you. Smart goals. I want to achieve this by this time. This is number one. First, second, you don't have to be afraid to start. So many people just don't start because they're afraid that something will not work. As you saw from the experience of our guests, you experience from the other people who switched careers, you just have to go slowly, step by step, and you will get wherever you want. Another thing that is important and actually helps you out is to find a mentor or an expert for our guests. It was just joining some education program, but it can be anything. You can find just mentor in your company or somewhere else. It will help you with the first steps, because first steps are the most difficult one. Don't put off your studies until later. Invest in the future now. Just start. If you decided, just start doing something, and it's gonna be very impactful. Develop your knowledge, practice, don't stop. So this is more or less what our speakers told you. So I think it's really important. So what can stop you? In many cases, because I spoke like with many students, two things are the most common fears. First is I cannot code. I don't have technical expertise. What I can say about that is actually you can learn coding very fast under the guidance, and it's not so complicated in terms of analytics. As you saw, you don't even have to have advanced knowledge of Python to get the job as a data analyst, but also the coding in analytics is much more easy than in software development. So you don't really have to kind of be expert software engineering. You just have to know some basic stuff, how to get the data, how to clean the data, and this is going to be a great starting point. You have to know it already. And second one is I don't know math. Also, with the guest speakers, you saw how they treated this question, right? So they didn't first started by studying math, right? So they only get to this in a later stage of their career, when actually they needed the math. So in order to start, you need only basic statistics, and under supervision, you can learn this basic stuff in 3 months. So it's not such a big investment in terms of time. So right now, we can also do some practice. So let me ask my colleagues to share the link to the practice session. So now we would try and do a real project right now. Very simple one, but actually a real project using data analytics. So I would ask to please share this with the chat. I will stop sharing at 1 second, and we'll join you in 1 second with my Jupyter notebook on. So I will send this notebook into this is a notebook. You can I put it into the chat. I will pin this message so that you will see it on top. Right now, you see the link to the notebook, and this is exactly what we need right now. So right now, I'm gonna go back to sharing my screen, and we will try to make a real project right now. So first, can you please write in the chat if you find the link and you open the link and everything works okay? Say just okay. please write in the chat so I'm sure that you are following me and everything is okay. Actually, one of the members of our team, Raina, she's posting this in the WhatsApp chat for you. Yes, great, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, fantastic, great. So next thing that we need to do is actually we need to create a copy of this notebook. So we do it like this. We ask save a copy in Drive, and right now you create a copy of this notebook that you can actually edit, you can work on it. Okay, so please do like this and create a copy of this notebook, and also write okay in the chat when you are able to do that. Okay, done. Thank you, guys. Some of the people are already doing this. Okay, so please can continue to do this. And now I'll try to explain you the case. So basically, what is going on here? So you work as a data analyst in a toy store. That's a toy store that is kind of has offline store, and it also has an online store. So this store is affected severely by the pandemic. So the sales go down, and they are in deep trouble. So the owner is facing this decision. Should he close down the company, or he can generate enough profit on the Christmas sale so that he can continue to have the store and continue to pay employees to pay for the rent and do not shut down his business. So in order to do that, he needs to have 5.7 million rupees of profit to do on this on the Christmas sale. So first, let's so your job as a data analyst is to actually predict, will we be able to do that? Will we be able to earn enough profit to keep the lights on? Right now, let's start getting deeper into this. First, let's try how this tool works. Now we are working in a Collab notebook. It's a tool by Google where you can actually do coding online. It's pretty simple and it's very widespread. So everything is in the cells. So first of all, you need to be able to execute some lines of code. You need to press play. And when you press play, you would execute this cell. So let's start with the second cell. In this cell, you see it's initializing. This notebook is initializing, and it takes some time for the first cell to execute, but later it will go much easier. Okay, it's done. So in this cell, we import some of the libraries. It is some tools that we will use to solve this problem, because in data analytics and in Python, now we are working with Python, it's already a lot of libraries, a lot of things that are already prepared for you, so you just have to use it to solve a problem. We'll do just that. Second thing, we need to look at our data. So our variable, it's called df, is basically where we download our data and store the data as a table in df. So first, let's press on the second cell. It's already prepared by me for you, where you download the data and you look at the first 10 lines of the data. In order to do that, you use the command head. So you use df, where our data is, df point head. So let's do that and see and look at our data. Here is our data. Maximize the screen. Can I maximize the screen? I think I can. And I can probably do like this, if it's better. Please tell me if this is more easy for you to follow like this. Okay. So let's look at our data. The data is has several kind of columns. Date, it's the date for which we have all the data. The category. In our toy store, we have several categories. For example, here we see 2 categories: games and puzzle, and educational and construction toys. Count is a number of items in this category we sold on this day. For example, the first line is 19th of December. Purchase price is actually price we paid to get this item from a distributor. Sale price is our price for the consumers. And in stock end of day is number of items that are in stock by the end of this day. So basically, how many items left in the stock. And here we see the data. We filtered the data that are specifically kind of the data for the Christmas sale. So it's only the week of the Christmas sale that we have the data. So we throw away all the other data. We only have the Christmas sale data. So in order for us to survive, we need to look into this data and to see if we're gonna make 5.7 million rupees on Christmas, because it's the biggest kind of one of the biggest sales of the year. And if we don't make it, it means that our business is doomed. So first, let's try to answer this question. Here, what we don't have revenue. We don't have amount of money that we got in each day. So in order to do that, we need to add a new column to our table with the revenue. So how we calculate revenue is pretty simple. We need to multiply 2 columns. We need to multiply the count, the number of items that we sold, and the sale price. And by multiplying those 2 things, we would get the revenue. Let's just press play on the next column. Here we go. And now it's time for you to write your first line of code today. So just can you please display the top 10 lines of the table of the new of the same table where we added the new column. So there it's a next cell. In the next cell where we can count, when we can display the first 10 lines of the table that we have. Just please go and do that and write okay or done when you're finished with that. Please do not write the code in the chat. So let everybody think for themselves and try to solve this task that I give. Okay. So when you're ready. Okay. Thank you. Shubham. Yes. Thank you so much. Done. Great. 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 Thank you so much, guys. Okay. Okay. Great. So it's pretty simple, right? Let's do that because we already did it before. We just use the command hat and we will see our new table with a new column, right? So here we have a revenue. So for each day, we have a revenue and we see how much revenue do we get. So let's calculate how much sales did we get like in this Christmas sale. I already prepared this line for you. So basically we use command sum to calculate all the revenues for every day, for every category. Let's just press play and see how it goes. You don't need to write answers in chat. Just follow it in your notebook. Okay, so we see that in terms of sales, we have 20 million rupees and 700,000 in sales. But in order to survive, we need the profit. We need the profit so we can pay salaries, we can pay rent. So right now, we need to calculate profit. In order to calculate profit, first we need to understand how much money we spent on this item. So here we need to calculate a total price, right? So now we have a total revenue, and now we need a total cost. In order to calculate total cost, I already did the same for you. You can just press play on this one, and here is your total cost. Right now, it's time for you to calculate profit. So what is a profit? Profit is revenue minus total cost. So please, right now, you have to write your code to calculate profit. So code goes here. There is a line, your code goes here. So please add a new column, profit, right, to the table, and calculate then the total profit. I already calculated it for you later. So right, you need to add a new column called profit to our table in the place your code here. Please go and add so there is a question, column revenue has been added. It has been added before, right? Because we added it here. So this is a revenue column. We added it here. So there is already revenue column. Here we added total cost column. And now we need to add another column, profit. Can you please write this code? And when you are ready, say done or okay in the chat. So I know that you completed this step. If you have a question, just don't hesitate to ask. Shri, nice, done. Thank you. Thank you. Shubham, thank you. Everybody else, please don't hesitate and write it in the chat. I will be really happy to know that you are following me. Yes, thank you so much. So you need to add column profit. You need to add column profit and then run this cell where it calculates the total profit that we got during the Christmas sale. Sachin, Komal, nice. Thank you so much. Okay. Muhammad, I will just show the right answer right now and you will follow me. So, okay. Okay, Aman, thank you so much. So let me show you how it should be done. So we need to add a new column called profit. So in order to calculate profit, you take revenue and you subtract total cost, right? And you see here it helps you here. So this is a profit, and now let's see how much profit did we get from this Christmas sale. Now we have 4.9 million. Is it enough? Is it enough, 4.9 million for us to save our shop and not to close it down? Harshit, thank you. So in order for us to make our goal, we need to make 5.7 million rupees in profit. But right now we have only 4.9 million rupees. It means that, as we see now, we have to close down the shop. We have to close down the shop and you have to find a new job, and it's not looking good. especially when the Christmas is so soon, and not so great time to find a job. So our owner just asked us to look more precisely into this data and see if there is something that can be done to increase this profit. So in order to do that, sometimes it's very useful to use visualization. Visualization is much more easier to understand, is easier to interpret, and you can see some patterns in the data. So I already prepared for you some simple visualization using one of the libraries that we imported. So don't really it looks quite difficult, but you will later, once you learn more Python, understand how it works. Just right now, let's press play and see the data. I made a visualization by category, by date, each day. So right now, we can look at this visualization and let's see, is everything okay here? So if you look at this picture, at this visualization, do you see something strange in the data? So here, each line is each category, and you see number of items that has been sold in this category every day. So can you tell me, is there something wrong with this picture? Is there something wrong with what was going on in this Christmas sale? Mohammed asked, he has a problem with the profit. Here you can see the right answer. Here, please look once again here. And for others, please look at this picture and tell me, is there something wrong with this data? Please write your suggestions in the chat. So what was wrong? Was there something wrong in our previous Christmas sales? So any suggestions? What was there? So if there are some lines that are not the same as others. So yes, okay. So if you have any suggestions, so what is the problem? Where we should look at, please write in the chat. Some categories aren't good. Toys and physical. Oh yes, great job, guys. Great job. Exactly. You see, you saw this pattern. So you see that some categories are just behaving strangely. So there is good sales first 3 days, and then went to zero. Then you see collectible and toy guns category, that sales gone well, okay, and then to zero for certain days, and then it also went back. And you can see in vehicles, track sets, it started off really good, but then went to zero. So we have this strange behavior. So let's investigate. Okay, there can be something with this. First, let's see what categories do we have. So we use command unique in order to see all categories just that are out there. So these are the categories that we have. And let's filter our data. And let's look of one of the categories that looks strange, right? This is a category, for example, games and puzzles. You see, it started off well, and it actually kind of goes well all the way. So let's look how normal category behaves, right? It looks okay. So first, let's press play. And you see that it has the same kind of more or less sales every day. It has some spikes around Christmas Eve, but more or less it behaves normally, right? So right now it's for you, it's your turn. So can you please filter another category, education and construction toys? Can you please show the data, right, for education and construction toys category? Because this category, as you can see here, it behaves strangely. First, good sales, good sales, good sales, bam, 0, right? So let's look at this data and to see what's wrong here. Okay, please. Now it's your turn to filter the code and to see some to see that the data for this category. Probably we'll get a hint what was wrong with this category, and there is something that we can do. Okay. So when you're ready, please say okay in the chat. Done. Great. Fantastic. Okay. So it's pretty simple to do, right? Because you already have the same. You just copy it and you just change the category name here. Instead of games and puzzles, we have education and construction toys, right? And we press play and we see. So what's wrong here? What was the problem? Let's look precisely in this table and try to understand what was the problem here. Thank you, guys. So can you suggest what went wrong in this category? Thank you, Kamal. Thank you, Sachin. So what went wrong with this education and construction toys category? No stocks. Great, exactly. This is the problem. This is the problem. So you see that bam, 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 good, the same. It behaves the same, but right now it declines and up to 0. And it happens because we ran out of stock. So we didn't buy from a distributor enough items in this category, and that's why we lost some sales. So right now we need to make a new prediction. So what if in this Christmas we really buy enough stock, so we will not run out of stock and we will be able to have full sales in this Christmas, right? So this category will not decline if you have enough items in stock. So right now I will show you how it's done for the category of construction, education and construction toys. So first, let's find all the data for the education and construction toys category, right? We already done that, so it's here. Then let's filter the data for the dates when the items were in stock, right? So we live on the data when the items were in stock. So basically, when in this column it was not 0, right? So this is this condition. Here it is. So here are the days where in stock by the end of the day there was something in there. So it means that in these days we have like normal sales, good sales. And now let's calculate the average profit for the days per one day. If the sales were okay, so how much profit do we get in these days? Okay, let's calculate it. We use the function mean for it. So basically it's pretty simple. You have the same thing, but you then use the mean function, right? And it will show you the average profit per day. So we press play. So basically, if there are items in stock in this category, we make 239,000 rupees of profit per day on these days. So now let's filter the data for the days when there were no sales, right? When we didn't get any sales in this category. So you have the same. We just filter the days when count was 0, right? Okay. So and now we need to kind of count. So how many days were there when we didn't have any sales? So we can count it with our just with our eyes, right? Because there's only 3. But in order for us to be able to use the same kind of code for every category, we use the function count, and we count. It is indeed 3, and now we should kind of calculate the additional profit that we would get if there were enough items in stock. So basically, how can you do it? You take average profit per day and you multiply it by the number of days when there were no sales, and you get the additional profit. So wow, for this category, we would have 700,000 of additional profit. That's great. That's great, because it means that we found something with the use of analytics. We found some new money that we can get. Okay, now it's your turn. Can you please do exactly the same? So you need to find additional profit for the new category. It's category vehicles, track sets, and remote control toys. So please do exactly the same, but basically you need to change on the first line. So can you please do this first step yourself? Is just filter the data for vehicles category, and then another part I already kind of did the same steps as we did before, but in a single cell. So now, can you please add the code that is missing for us to calculate how much additional profit we have in the vehicles, track sets, and remote control toys category? Okay, so now please do this, and when you're ready, say done. Okay. Done. Okay. Okay. So let's do it together. So how you do it? We just use the same code that we use for filtering. We put it here, right? But now we need to change the category name, right? So here we put vehicles, track sets, and remote control toys. Everything else remains the same. So now we can just press play on this, and we see additional profit that we have. So for this category, we have additional profit of 632. Now do exactly the same for the last category, that is strange. That is a collectible and toys guns. So please now do the same and calculate additional profit for collectibles and toy guns. Okay. So I'm waiting for you. Please. When you're ready, say done. Okay. Okay. Some people are already ready. So it's pretty simple, right? So we do exactly the same. We No, it's wrong. So I take this data set and I change, I take this code and I change the category for collectibles and toy guns. Now I have a problem because I copied without, so I don't need two of these things here. And let's see how much additional profit we got in this category. And now let's calculate total additional profit, right? So we'll do it together because it's very simple. Let's do it together. You take collectibles, additional profit, you take plus vehicles, additional profit, and then you got education, additional profit. So you take these three numbers, you sum it, and then we press play. How much additional profit we got total? Oh, wow. So in total, we have more than 1.5 million rupees of additional profit. So if we really stock our shop properly, our online shop properly, we've got 1.5 million additional profit. And now let's calculate how much total profit we have with the profit that we already calculated plus additional profit. We got, wow, 6.5 million. So we needed 5.7 million. So it means that using analytics, we actually find a way to find additional profit for this Christmas sale. And we were not only able to save the shop and save our job, but also analytics team and yourself got a solid bonus on Christmas and New Year. So congratulations for this. So this finalizes this exercise. Thank you so much for following me along. I know it has been hard and sometimes you didn't understand everything, but still you were able to do some simple steps on Python and to solve real analytics problem. So this is great. Once again, I congratulate you guys for this. And now let's go back to our presentation. So right now, you had like a small experience using Python to solve some data and analytics problem. And I would like to introduce a more full version, full course in data analytics that we do at Coding Invaders, that you can become a data analyst in just 6 months. So basically, what is special about this course? As you see, today we spoke with hiring managers, and we have like a big network of hiring managers. This is the people who really understand what they need. That's why we have a 100% job placement guarantee on this course. So because we develop it together with the hiring managers, we understand the requirements, and we have a career center who directly connects you with the Indian and international employers and help you along the way. So basically, that's why we guarantee that after successful graduation, you will get a job in 3 months, or you will get 100% refund of the tuition fee you have on this course. So this is why I think this course is a safe bet for those who want to get into the data analytics and change their careers. So it's guaranteed. So why we can guarantee it? Because we have a lot of hiring partners. We have an alumni network that work in top companies like Metro Cash and Carry, Cisco, Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, and others. We have hiring partners from Indian companies like business consulting companies, startups, and others. And this number is growing every day. So basically, that's why we can guarantee that we will place you in one of the companies. So how it works? So basically, you have to after this webinar or now leave a request on our website, and we will share you. Our team will share you the link to the webinar to our main page. So I will do it Okay, now we would have a new new link that's going to be pinned to the website, and then one of our team, one members of our team, our counselor, will contact you and clarify all the details. You'd have a conversation with about your experience, about your motivation, because since we guarantee you a placement, it's a partnership for us too. So we invest in you, and we have to be really sure that you have their motivation to kind of to go all the way, and you have the motivation to actually get the skills. After that, we will, if it's a good match for you and for us, we will send you a payment link, and you will study, start study. We will help you along the way. So the main feature is a lot of help from our team. You will get the final project, and you get a new profession. Also, by the end of the course, you'd have a certificate, portfolio of real project. That's what the hiring manager what exactly speaking about. So you need to have online projects, so you would get a lot of online projects on the course, and you have a lot of acquaintance in the IT industries, including employers, and you'd have a new job. So basically, our training team has, why I say that we have a lot of support, because we have a lot of roles, a big team that works with you. We have a success coach that actually works with you and monitor your activity, follow up if there is a problem with you or you become inactive. We have mentors. These are in experts from big companies like the guys that we had today. So they are the same kind of people, mentors, and they help you with this project, and they help you really kind of get your portfolio. They review your code, review your solutions, and tell you how you can get better and help you when you have a problem. We have lecturers, and we have a technical support that actually answers all your questions regarding your code, regarding everything, things you don't understand. So we answer within the working hours. It's like 20 hours per day to 90% of the questions within 1 hour. So it's very fast. So whenever you have a problem, we answer you straight away. And so right now we have a Christmas discount. We have a Christmas sale too. And right now you can have this course for only 5,200 rupees per month. So it's an EMI for one year. So it's really affordable. And basically what you need is just to apply and to have enough motivation, and you will be able to get into this program with a guaranteed employment. So it's, I think, a good deal. And only for the webinar participants, for those who made it this far, who made the effort, who made the practice session, we would offer additional 10% discount if you leave an application on this course before 10 p.m. today. So you'd have additional 10% discount, and it's going to be like really good deal for you, the best deal in the year. Also, we wanted to tell you, but by the way, about the last thing. So the course, so this discount, it ends on Monday, right? And in order to participate in this program, in this sale, you don't need to pay the full amount. So because the course starts after the new year, it starts on the 25th of January. So if you pay 2,000 rupees now, we can book you a seat on this course with this Christmas sale. So right now we need a commitment from you. So you're going to join this course, and then you don't even need to pay the full amount right now. You just have to pay 2,000 rupees right now. So to secure your seat. And actually there is not too many seats left. We have already some people who are in this course, and we don't have big groups, so we only work in small groups, and we work specifically with you, so we will be able to place you and to have very high quality of teaching. So okay, this is it. I just want to tell you. So the link is already there. I would like to ask Raina to pin it, so it would be much easier for everybody to find it. It's not get lost. We will actually send the same link in the chat, in WhatsApp chat, so you will be able to find it very easily and to make use of this great promotion and get a new job as a data analyst. So also there is a certificate of participation for you guys, for those who really made it this far, who made the exercise. So if you just leave a review on Google or Facebook page, it's actually or, it's not and or, and send the information to us by email, then we will send you back. So you need to send the link for your review on Google or Facebook, and we will send you back and your name, and we will send you back the certificate. So basically, you have to leave an honest review, and we will send once again the more detailed instructions in chats, in WhatsApp chat, in order for you to kind of be able to receive a certificate of participation. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is a place where we got new content. We're gonna create and useful content on data analytics, on career and stuff like this. There are going to be new webinars there. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you are able to really follow along all the great activities that's going to happen on Coding Invaders channel. Thank you so much. This was it. That's what we wanted to do for today. If you have any questions, I'm ready to answer them. Please write them in the chat. It's my pleasure to kind of help you out and answer all the questions that you might have. So which topics are covered in data analytics? So so which topics are we have in this course several parts. So there is a part on every skill that is needed to get a job as data analyst. So it's Excel part. So it's Google Tables training simulator that has more than 200 exercises. Databases and SQL simulator where you get SQL skills. There is a Python for data analysis simulator. You have more than 400 exercises, 480 exercises, and you have a statistics for analyst course. So basically, all the skills that we mentioned as a necessary prerequisite to get a job is included in this course, especially, and also building reports in BI system, where we use Power BI to actually build visualizations. And also, what is really great about this course, as I told you, that there are a lot of real projects. So basically, for example, a project can be like this. This is a real project from the course. For example, it's a case in marketing analytics in e-commerce. So you work as a marketing analyst for e-commerce door sales company, and you have a lot of data about users who use the website, who come to website and leave a request. And basically, your task is improve the effectiveness of advertising in one of the advertising networks. For example, this is one of the things. Another is the basics of product analytics. So this is a you work for the same door sales company, and now you need to understand how company's revenue has changed and why. So basically, it has a lot of kind of projects like this, and that's how it works. So basically, there are two parts. So there are simulators on the tools, and there are a lot of cases that you need to do. using those tools that you get in the simulator. So for one project, you need to use Excel. For another project, you need to use Python. For next project, you need to use several tools like BI to make a visualization, Python to clean data, and SQL to get the data from the database. So it works more or less like this. So in order to get a full program, just please go to the website and leave a request, and you will receive like a full curriculum with all the topics, and you'll have an opportunity to talk with our counselor who can just talk about your experience, talk about your goals, and it will be much clearer for you what is your situation, how can you move to the data analytics field, or what exactly the topics are covered. So if you have any other questions, I would be happy to tell you. So please. Okay, guys. So I think this is it. Thank you very much for your time. Please write a review and receive a certificate. And please follow our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And please follow all the great information and insights about the field of data analytics and data science from us. So on this, I stop the presentation and thank all for your very active participation, and see you soon on our events, and good luck with your transition into the data analytics career. Bye.